A big hello to everybody.
I am Glenn Kincaid.
And I'm Jim Kincaid. We have the honor of serving as the co-chairpersons of the Pankey Legacy Campaign.
The only reason we're not with all of you in person to celebrate the dedication of Becker Hall, we have previously planned a trip to Washington, D.C. with Lucille, our granddaughter.
We wish we were there. This is such a fitting way to recognize and honor Erwin Becker's 30-plus years of service. If I may, since I've been around here a long time, let me reflect a little bit on the history of the Institute and how all this came about. It was 1980 at the second Triple Plus alumni meeting in Durango, Colorado. As a young couple, Glenn and I were introduced to another young couple, Susie and Erwin Becker. Erwin had just joined the Institute as a full-time faculty member, but he was not the chairman, not just yet. This was one of those critical times in the history of the Institute. Henry Tanner had served as a gifted chairman for several years, but had moved on, and the Institute was looking for someone to take the reins as the new chairman. It did not take long. By his second year, Erwin had shown that he was indeed the educational leader the Institute needed, and Chris Sager, our CEO, wasted no time in promoting Erwin to the chairmanship. Of course, Erwin's dental work spoke for itself already. Everyone on the faculty already knew that he was one of the finest restorative dentists in the country. But I really doubt anyone knew that he would become equally respected as a leader and a master teacher. The chairmanship of the Department of Education exposed Erwin to the broad world of dentistry, and in a short time, his skills as an educator were recognized across the U.S. and abroad. Something of the icing on the cake, though, was his understanding of the philosophy of the practice of dentistry taught by Dr. Pankey. Like myself and most of the original faculty members, early in Erwin's practice career, he had attended courses taught by Dr. Pankey, Dr. Clyde Schuyler, Dr. John Anderson at the DuPont Plaza, including a 2.5-day philosophy course taught solely by Dr. Pankey. Dr. Pankey's influence was strong, and it was soon obvious to everybody that Erwin Becker truly embodied everything that Dr. Pankey challenged us to strive for. Here we are 38 years later. There's no doubt that a good measure of the contribution of a retiring dentist is the quality of his or her work. Has it stood the test of time? How many lives has that work enhanced? When we look at the body of work of Erwin Becker, the educator, what greater testimony could there be than the faculty he developed? He's enhanced the lives of so many, but none more than the visiting faculty of the Pankey Institute, past and present. The faculty he developed not only exemplifies the philosophy of Dr. Pankey, they're talented clinicians, teachers, who are dedicated to continuing the mission of the Institute. Erwin arrived in 1980 and retired 30 years later, leaving it stronger because of his presence. I can think of no better symbol to acknowledge Erwin Becker's extraordinary work than the dedication of Becker Hall in his name. Erwin and Susie, Glenn and I may not be there in person, but our spirit and our best wishes are. Like all of you, we cherish what the Pankey Institute stands for and know that Becker Hall will be a reminder to all who enter of the extraordinary leadership of Dr. Erwin Becker.
Jim and I feel blessed to share 38-plus years of your friendship and many memories.
Thank you, Ricky and Richard and everybody there for letting us share in the celebration. Have a great evening.